Hey, do it. Good to see you again. Hi. That's Milo? Right. Yeah. Well, God bless y'all. See you later. Uh, oops. Okay, let's see what's up.
Really features these sorts of debates. I've been on the Whatever podcast and I've done these debates, so has Charlie Kirk. But now, of course, for I guess either the right price or a chance at staying or being in the limelight, he's willing to sort of flip his position and kind of present himself as a feminist right there, tasked with defending Erica Kirk taking over her late husband's company, a $250 million organization, while the kids are back home with no parents as she travels the country. Now, he's sympathetic to those positions. Now, Andrew Wilson looks to be about 50 years old. That's the best that I could do in terms of finding his age. Another point that I really was surprised by, because again, I thought this was like someone younger coming through the ranks. Worry not, though, because when he debates, he's always drinking a beer. So he wants you to know he's cool. His ex-profile pic is of him back home with no parents. She travels the country. Now, he's sympathetic to those positions. Now, Andrew Wilson looks to be about 50 years old. That's the All right, you guys, it is not a happy Thursday. Brigitte, would you like to tell them, or should I? Actually, it's my show. I'm going to tell them. So yesterday, we received a tip on our tip line regarding my insistence that the person who wrote those Tyler Robinson text messages was not a native English speaker. You'll recall I was basically describing how sometimes words just don't transfer over. And if you don't speak the native language, you might miss that. The obvious and most stunning example of that in the Fed slop messages being, I hope that Pooch has a bad sniffer. A bad sniffer, a pooch, a sniffer. Who is using Google Translate and for? Well, here's what someone said to me via email. They wrote, Dear Candace, in French, we say chien renifleur, which translates as sniffer dog. I have a feeling this text translated from French. Thanks for your great work. Obviously, it's French. Pooch, pooch. French people always make things sound a little bit more pretentious. And I looked it up, and sure enough, the way that they describe a canine into a sniffer pooch. It's like the most unbelievable thing. I'm deeply upset by this. I promise you, Brigitte, you're still missing those days. Days the Egyptian planes were in America. We still cannot track Brigitte. If I find out Brigitte authored those messages, there is going to be hell to pay. Anyway, moving on from that, we named this episode Silence of the Lambs because we came across some very interesting information about him and an interesting tidbit that the 4K influencers, the HD courtroom influencers, actually didn't share with the public about what they saw. That's interesting. Welcome back to Candace. Okay, so first things first, it has come to my attention that an individual who I had literally never heard of in my life went onto Joe Rogan signaling that I am scared to debate him regarding the Charlie Kirk case and that he's offered me $300K to do so. Just so you know, the backstory leading up to this moment is that the host of the Whatever podcast, who I do know, a guy named Brian Atlas, reached out to my PR guy Mitchell with an offer of $50K for me to debate this person. And then he upped the amount, I think, to $150K initially. I immediately dismissed it. I genuinely had never heard of the name Andrew Wilson before. And my assumption was that this was a PR ploy, a move for some young influencer that was coming up through the ranks and had a little bit of money to spend to get their name out there. It's almost like, and people do this, you try to buy an ad for yourself. It's an industry strategy to get your name out there. Of course, the Charlie Kirk case was not some gimmick to me. We have not been asking for money, just a public discussion with Turning Point USA, one of their affiliates regarding the case, whether that be Blake Neff, Andrew Colvett, Erica Kirk, Yankin Bank Frank, somebody who was there on the scene today. We've offered them the floor repeatedly. Now, what I not appreciated until people began sending me clips of this Andrew Wilson guy following his sit down on Joe Rogan is that he is sort of affiliated with Turning Point USA, another person in their orbit that they're boosting, so much so that he's apparently hugging Erica Kirk at Turning Point USA headquarters. I will let you take a listen to what he told Joe Rogan during their sit down. Take a listen.
We offered Candace Owens, I offered her $300,000 to do a debate. I was like, we'll give you $300,000.
What is her position? What does she think happened?
She thinks that Israel worked in conjunction with TPUSA and Erica Kirk to murder Charlie.
Based on what?
Well, that's the million-dollar question. Nobody actually knows. She's never presented a single shred of evidence thus far that Israel ever worked to murder Kirk, that Erica Kirk certainly didn't. In fact, her position for the longest time was if Erica Kirk comes out and tells me to stop the conspiracy on this, I will. So Erica did. She went out publicly and she was like, enough. You're just causing more problems than good here as this investigation's going on. And then suddenly Erica's now part of the conspiracy. By the next day, she's trying to cover it up. She's the conspiracy too. When I went to the TPUSA HQ, and I talked to Erica briefly while I was there. The first thing I did was what I think every normal, moral human being would ever do. I gave her a hug. And I told her how god-awful sorry I was that happened. Like, can you even imagine how that's got to feel for her? Especially now that she has tens of thousands of people accusing her of murdering and conspiring to murder and then cover up what happened to her own. I mean, that's like mind-boggling psychological torture on a level that I've never seen.
Yeah, and hindsight is 20/20, but given the reaction, I think it probably would have been better to like lay low for a little while.
1000%.
The going out with sparklers was not a great idea. Like, all that was not a great idea because it just seemed insane.
Thank you, Joe Rogan, for saying that. People were going, yeah, okay. I'm interested because I was expecting Andrew Wilson to look like that. I understand, as perhaps could probably guess, how you magically fell into money to be running around offering $300K for a conversation. And I also now understand, having looked into it, why Blake Neff and Andrew Colvett seem to be boosting you on X. Now, for everyone who was like me and legitimately did not know who this man was 5 minutes ago, Andrew Wilson apparently had a presence in the manosphere debating feminists, and that would explain why he was appearing on the Whatever podcast, which regularly features these sorts of debates. I've been on the Whatever podcast and I've done these debates, so has Charlie Kirk. But now, of course, for, I guess, either the right price or a chance at staying or being in the limelight, he's willing to sort of flip his position and kind of present himself as a feminist right there, tasked with defending Erica Kirk taking over her late husband's company, a $250 million organization, while the kids are back home with no parents as she travels the country. Now, he's sympathetic to those positions Now, Andrew Wilson looks to be about 50 years old. That's the best that I could do in terms of finding his age. Another point that I really was surprised by, because again, I thought this was like someone younger coming through the ranks. Worry not, though, because when he debates, he's always drinking a beer. So he wants you to know he's cool. This ex-profile pic is of him smoking a cig, because that's like 50-year-old man doing this is crazy. That's his brand or something. He's like Timu Danny Zuko from Greece, but with a potty mouth, to be sure. Grease was a clean movie, Born to Hand Jive. I actually really liked it. He chain smokes throughout debates and he denigrates people so that people know just how like fresh to death he is. I really shudder at this prospect. Well, here's my counteroffer. Now that I know that Turning Point's in the orbit, right?
Yeah.
Andrew Wilson currently trending on X, by the way, for having lied. Joe Rogan dropped his entire interview. This obviously backfired. The comments are amazing, making fun of him and nobody buying the Erica Kirk slop, the Christian slop, trying to emote to make us feel like anything that's happened since Charlie Kirk's assassination makes sense, or that we should feel bad for caring and investigating. But anyway, he's trending because he similarly in this discussion with Joe Rogan lied in relation not just to me, but tried to like pretend that I'm somehow tangential to the leftist Un-F America tour. I've never so much as spoken to them, but then he also lied about them. He's accusing them of like
Hey.
Hey, what's up, brother?
Chilling, what you doing?
Oh, good timing. Ramona's awesome, and she is weird about time, so I'm glad that you answered. That people are just crazy, man. Turn on their blinker to turn right, and didn't turn right. Woo, I'm glad I held up. Glad I held up.
Heard that.
Anyway, yeah, she got me kind of strange, so I gotta get away. You know, tonight I can tell whenever there's like a little demon or something. I just kind of move on. Yeah, good. You did good today.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I mean, we wrote another RCOC. Anytime, if we do one a day, our life will be changed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Makes sense.
As a retread, the lady already had another company do it, but yeah. The demonic stuff we had to call, I prayed for today. I just told her I had to pray for her that God told me to. I said, I'm praying for all prideful people to be away from Ramona. Because I don't want her prideful or full of vanity. So
Wow.
I said, that's Jesus' name.
Hallelujah.
I don't want any my friend to be that way. So I don't want her around people that way. And Jesus saying, keep all put a hedge of thorns around her, make it uncomfortable for her to be around anybody that has vanity or pride. Trying to spread it to her because she's a good singer and she's a good person, and sometimes those things can rub off on her. So I'm praying for protection of Ramona for those things and be declared and her clean to be anything like that. That's all I prayed over. Just prayed it. She just looked at me. First she tried to stop. I said, I ain't finished yet. I said, I ain't finished yet. Well, let me finish the prayer God told me to pray. Because God did tell me to pray that over. So I prayed it over. She let me do it. And she knew that's a good, and it made her, and she was a little different. It did kind of shock her that I said that. I didn't call it directly that. It was an indirect prayer for directly after the demon. Because it's really the demons doing anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went there and called them out. Called the demons out.
Right.
So, anyway. Are you good?
Yeah, man.
Where you working at?
I've been in Noonan. I had to go to my brother's house.
Oh, okay.
Got some weird rats.
Yeah, we're still thing on the road. Now it's already 8 o'clock. I'm probably not going to be home till, let's see, about 6 here. Looking at it. Going different ways. All right. I guess I want to don't hang up on my see a couple things. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, I like that new table of chairs. The backs is good, don't it?
Yeah.
kind of matches everything. I'm just, God knows what He's doing, you know. I've been praying for furniture, restoration at the church, and all that stuff. 54 minutes, 8:52. Yeah, I don't think I want swimming tonight. I went last night. Maybe tonight, I'm going to take a shower in the morning. Too tired to go take one tonight. Oh, but I'm not 30 anyway. So, that's what I'll tell you. Yeah, so Justin, she told me to my face, yes, Tommy, you were right, you were trying to sleep with me. She asked me to come over,
Last night?
You know, come over and hang out, and today come over and hang out at the pool, and he's trying to get me to be over there with him. And I told him, look, I'm not dating you. You already had 2 chances, and you hurt me tremendously by not going, you know, on my birthday. You know, you just abandoned me on my birthday, and then I never hurt you. So why would I ever give you another chance under any circumstance? Well, I was drinking then, but I hadn't been drinking in 4 days. And she laughed at him. Really? 4 days? Yeah, we're not dating no more. It's over. You had 2 chances, not 1 but 2. Stop trying, was Cody. Or I can't keep you around. Went to church and everything, and she blew him off. So that's cool. I'm glad she held around.
Yeah, glory to
There's
God.
been a time when she would have gave in.
Yeah,
The only reason why I know she's telling the trick because she was at a club last night singing. At least I know she was at a club singing, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So, anyway. But she did just that. I tell you, she's acting kind of weird now. So she's like, this is just to show you how weird it is. She's like, well, I need to de-stress. I'm going to listen to my Christian music on the way home. So just call me tomorrow and wake me up. Will you do that? I'm like, sure. She's doing this thing at night where she just needs some time alone. And usually we cut up and laugh and she de-stresses. So I think she's probably talking to somebody else and I'm okay with that. I talked to Dave. Davey set me straight. Davey was a pimp. He had 30 women at one time. You know, Davey was whatever reason, all the women loved him. It was weird. Anyway, he's like, yeah, Tommy, you just got to let her know. No big deal. I'm seeing somebody too. You know, tell her if you are. You need to make sure you tell her, you know, don't tell her that, you know, oh, everything's on you, Ramona, and all that stupid stuff. That's stupid what they do that. That's the worst you can do with her. Then they feel like they got you, don't want you. When they got you, they don't want you. When they got you, they don't want you. They're looking around.
Unless you get them
They come to you.
where they don't got all that old junk anymore.
Yeah. So I don't know how you can keep their name, keep them focused. Just tell them, you know, you don't care. You know, I was saying, what you do, that's your business. You know what I mean? That's your business. Talk to me about it. It's none of my business. So I tell them. I've got things I'm doing. That's all you gotta do.
Right?
You know, I've been nice to her. Oh, it's over with. I ain't mean to her. But that's why, you know, I bought her some food today. I bought her a suit. It's $5. I didn't mind. Like, public suits are good, man.
Yeah,
Ever had
yeah.
any public suits?
Oh, yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah.
They got an enchilada soup. Man, it's nothing to mess with. The cheese in it, chicken, and all the flavor of enchilada. Man, it's good. Got one of those stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, everything's great. I listened to my sermon. I was proud of myself from last night. I thought that was pretty fun.
Cool.
I didn't
Yeah, it was
realize
good.
yours was what, you know, we always do good. But I like to hear myself preach so I can edify myself. It's kind of cool. Because God speaks it to me and it edifies me.
Yeah.
When I listen to it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Still, I like that. And I found
Hallelujah.
myself listening to Joe Osteen again. I've heard 2 messages that really touched my heart.
Did you hear about Greg Locke? You ever heard of him? Greg
And I
Locke.
sent you, did you see those 3 videos I sent you of the guy that died?
No, what
The
guy?
guy that,
Oh,
the
Wells?
one guy that,
Nolan Wells?
the guy, no. The guy that invented that new electricity solar panel that regenerated from the earth. They used the earth and the sun to generate power. He figured it out because they had a little statue and it had the all-seeing eye. When they would put the light bulb in front of the all-seeing eye, it would light up. It was just a stone, just sitting on the ground, just a stone. And he figured out from the earth, and somehow they made it go up through the eye. They made it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And so he figured out the way Tesla made the earth power come up.
Right.
He figured it out. Anyway, it's pretty cool. He really, when he went into it, he was talking about regeneration and all this stuff. So they've been lying to us.
Oh, you talking about David Wilcox?
No.
No, that's not his name?
No. I sent you 3 videos in a row. on
What's
your
his
text
name?
message. I'm looking it up now. It's on Facebook. It's actually on my Facebook. Guy's incredible. He's a genius.
Yeah.
And he's now
They've
dead.
been killing them all. They killed him.
You know the guy that makes plastic? Fuel out of plastic bottles?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was his best friend. They both are geniuses.
Yeah.
They killed him, and they said he's probably next to die. He said he's probably next. He's probably going to die next. Because he's saving the earth, and they don't want you to save the earth.
Right.
Just see,
They want to destroy
I'm looking
it.
it up now. Give me a second. I can get it over there. All right, here we go. About to get his name. There it is. Joe F.E.T.C. Rest in peace, trying to get free energy in America. That's his name.
Man.
It's on my Facebook, and I've seen you 3 videos of it.
Yeah, they're killing a lot of people.
This dude was a genius. Like, he got some special batteries that they had made special, and they shipped them, and they followed the batteries, and they killed him.
Wow.
So they had some special batteries made a certain way, designed for the system. And he figured it out. And he was building a small plant, a tiny one, in Costa Rica. And he ended up but the one that, before that, he was at a goods house getting the stuff together, and the black, where he had them delivered, he said once the batteries hit the ground, 8 or 9 helicopters, 4 or 5 low-flying jets that do the big sonar on top and everything would fly over that tiny location in the middle of nowhere.
What'd they do?
I think, well, he ended up killing him. I don't know how they have not disclosed how he died. That's even, he's only 40 years old.
Wow.
But he was also, listen to this, if you watch his videos, he ran across a bunch of books. He's kind of like you, reading books, but he's not a Christian per se. So he started reading the Mason books. He's like interested to find out why everybody's the big deal. So I want to read these books. I seen the video, I think it was the big deals about Mason. But at the end of the day, he was reading Mason books, and he was getting, he was doing all this stuff. So probably the Masons that took him out, man. They were afraid he was going to expose them.
Yeah.
He said for a minute, these guys seem to be geniuses the way they put stuff and the way they set stuff up. That's what he said. I don't know if they're good or bad. They look good, but look to be deceiving. He said, so he was studying all that. They were probably like, man, this guy needs to die. He's trying to figure us out. He's got to go now. You know what he said? He said, for years and years, the government has controlled us through our power bills. And he's going to show us how we can get free power for everybody.
That's
and
funny.
He did.
That's funny, because my power went out today, and then I had to pay the bill.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I had to pay the power for the church. And the water bill was $119 a problem.
Dang. Why?
But that was over a few months. I don't know. If I want to ask them, I want to go by next month and pay it for 1 month and see what it is. If it's using too much water, we got a leak for it.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. We might have a leak.
Well, not necessarily if it's 4 months.
Well,
Hey,
look at.
listen,
Oh, it was 4 months.
I got my boss. Call me. I'll right back.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Bye. God bless you.
About them. He's accusing them of like laundering money and doing this on Joe Rogan's platform, absent any fact check. He just lies. I guess that's where they're at right now. Trying to just see people that are willing to lie. Nonetheless, I said I have a counter offer. He says 300K. Let's make it 500K. Right? I just have the hunch, this feeling, gut instinct that you're maybe being backed by Turning Point USA or their affiliates in this debate request. It's just. You don't strike me as someone that has 300K lying around for conversation. I mean, not with that smoking habit in today's economy, right? And given the fact that Turning Point USA has raised $40 million in one night off of Charlie's blood, literally encasing his bloody microphone at a fundraiser event, but his grieving widow could be captured by the camera sitting next to it, I think 500K feels more appropriate. They want to invest in you, you're their guy, tell them that's what it costs. That's 500K between old friends, right? Also, my second counter offer position point that I'd like you to meet is I'm 7 months pregnant, so if you fancy a debate face-to-face, you're gonna have to travel to me. It's common decency. No time limit in the debates, don't worry, it will be live. We will bring up any documents or evidence that you mention as a part of this case. We have a team, so you can send links live. We are happy to pause and allow you to search for any evidence that you reference if the team can't find it for some reason. No tricks, as long as you want, like I said, live, so anybody could see if we were trying to play tricks. As a 2A point here, you're not going to be chain smoking around me, tough guy, okay? So you're just gonna have to bring yourself and leave your cigs at home. And this is actually, I would say, the most important part for me. This is what has to happen. Third part here. Either Blake Neff or Andrew Colvett or Erica Kirk must publicly claim you first, meaning they must say that they are sending you in to debate on their behalf regarding the Charlie Kirk case. Okay? No worming away after the fact. They don't get to be, oh, we don't really know this guy, whatever. They're boosting you. You're at the headquarters teaching people how to debate. I gotta tell you, from the outside, it kind of looks like Turning Point USA is scraping the bottom of the barrel looking for influencers, and they've now arrived at people who are just amoral, who will lie about what people have said and intentionally misrepresent their positions, and who I would say, not reminiscent of the honest debate strategy and style that was once employed by their company founder. I mean, Charlie Kirk's brand was clean and respectable. Here is Andrew Wilson, who, I'm not kidding, Turning Point USA says they welcomed him to teach others how to debate. Here's him debating a feminist leftist. Her name also happens to be Charlie. Take a listen.
Well, I'll try to rephrase this. I'm going to reframe, and I'm just going to be totally honest with you. I will never be able to convince you of my worldview.
You won't.
I know. But the reason is because I'm not a great orator, or I don't make good points, or I haven't said things which should be compelling to a person. But Charlie, I just think honestly you're too fucking stupid to understand them.
So Andrew, can I sell you on my worldview?
Yes.
Your wife has 3 baby daddies and has been married twice before.
And you
you
lick sniz. You lick sniz. Dyke, don't talk about my wife, you stupid bitch. Shut your mouth. Shut your stupid bitch mouth.
Your wife with the 3 baby
What did I
daddies?
just say?
Your
Dyke?
wife with the 3
Sorry,
baby
I'm
daddies?
sorry, Dyke. Is she morally inconsequential in comparison to your ditch licking?
Do the men that you try to
Do the women that you try
show
to?
your hatred against?
Do the women
they,
that you try
convince
to?
them that they shouldn't?
You know,
like,
Charlie, did I
pursue
bring
women? Do they know
Charlie?
that
Did
your
I
wife
bring?
is 5 years older?
Did I bring your family into?
Stupid.
Did I say anything
F***ing
about your
stupid.
family being stupid, Charlie?
You could.
It's
You could
because
go
I'm
for it.
better than you, Charlie.
No, it's because you're embarrassed, and you know that the traditional values that you try to sell people
Okay.
on are bullshit. Because
Let's
you
go
are not
through
a
it.
traditional man.
Chuck, let's go through it.
You are not a traditional
Let's
man.
go through it, Chuck. Tell me what I'm doing, which is immoral.
nutshell.
Probably should have bleeped out a little bit more in that clip. I don't even know what some of those words mean, but that's him in a nutshell.
Oh, that's funny, man. That's some funny stuff.
Again, just to give you guys the proof here, Andrew Colbeck claims they did pay him, but only to come and teach their students how to debate. Here's his tweet. He wrote, "Nope, he was paid for 1 day of the debate training for our students and campus debate team. He's not, quote unquote, being paid, but seeing how much they seem to hate that idea, maybe we should see if we can work something out. LOL. Oh, LOL. Great. I think we should work something out. I do." And Blake Neff sharing clips. I've made it clear that I believe the person who is walking up the stairs in the maroon shirt is not Tyler Robinson. The person who was captured on TMZ's cameras in the maroon shirt is not Tyler Robinson. I still believe what I reported back in October of last year, which is that Tyler Robinson never stepped foot onto UVU campus.
Excuse my language. Jesus, I'm sorry. God forgive me, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Profane. Any words at all. Sorry, Jesus. My profanity.
Bugged. Now, although, as I said back then, I learned he was around campus on that day. I don't know if that means he was driving people around. It's certainly plausible, but I don't think he was either person who walked up the staircase on that day. And I believe those are two different people that we're seeing. The maroon, and then later in the day in the black, I think those are two different individuals. And to that point, by the way, of interest is that the UVU students have confirmed to me that there are no cameras outside of the parking garage. There's absolutely no reason for him to walk up through the parking garage. If you look at the layout, it's almost as if the people wanted to be captured by the cameras. If he had just, everybody knows if you go into a parking garage, there's going to be cameras. If he had just walked outside of the garage and went around, there would have been no way for the cameras to capture him. I'm going to show you that on the map here, okay? The map of the actual route that he took there is he just decided to go through this parking garage. Decided to go through the parking garage. Here's the route he could have taken with the same effect, just stayed on the street, never would have been captured. Again, it makes entirely no sense outside of wanting the cameras to see him. Anyway, what I can state emphatically is that if there is overwhelming evidence that Tyler Robinson did this crime, if they're sticking to that, if it's just so overwhelming that he did this crime, then we can state that there is objectively more overwhelming evidence that Lance Twiggs did this crime. Okay? Because Lance Twiggs has his DNA on the towel. Lance Twiggs has his DNA on the rifle. And to be clear, Lance Twiggs' DNA was not as degraded as Tyler Robinson's DNA was on Tyler's rifle. It's Tyler's rifle, but Lance's DNA is more prominent. How does that happen? What is Lance doing with the gun? Did Lance go hunting with his gun or something? We learned that the Dremel that was used to carve the bullets belonged to Lance Twiggs. So if there's overwhelming evidence for one, there's more overwhelming evidence for Lance Twiggs. That's what I would assert, right? And when we did background checks and we spoke to people's family members, we learned and spoke to people's schoolmates, we learned that Tyler is described as a quiet kid, a kind kid. Lance is described in opposite terms. He dealt with a multitude of anger and behavioral issues in his youth, so much so that he had to be removed from his home multiple times, living with other family members, living with other people. I mean, like meant to go live with other relatives who in the end also kicked him out of their home as well because of his behavioral issues. When your own family members are describing you as into dark internet stuff, saying that you've had drug overdoses, allegedly, this is the kind
against each other, and I'd rather just not be around it. If you're going to do that, I'd rather you just, I told that, so I'd rather not be around any of that. That's drama. That was very clear. So the first thing she told me today, you know, yeah, you're right, he was asleep with me. God, it really gets raining over there, Marietta, dude. Crazy. There's about 3 inches of rain on the ground, dude. It's like I'm boating right now on 75.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy, brother. It's dangerous. It must have really poured right here a few minutes ago. It's still raining, but I mean, it's a lot of water. Anyway, so I'm finally being tough on her. And you know what? She responded. So Ramona likes tough guys. Yeah, that's what she likes. She probably, you know, worked in a poor plant. She was gay one time in her life. There's no telling. Maybe she was the guy part, you know? And she was, you know, she fights. You know, she's a fighter. You know, in that way, she reminds me of Tina because she can fight. Like, she is a fighter.
Right.
She beat up, I'm telling you, a 6'2" black girl that was like a runner. And athletic, like a basketball player. Basketball players are hard to beat up. She said she got her on the ground and beat her head in because she was trying to beat her head in. They had to pull her off of her. And she's like, it ain't going the way you thought it was, did you? How'd you like that? So she told me. She was talking to her. How'd that feel? You embarrassed? But I can see Ramona doing that too. So, she's a tough girl. So you keep my back. They do ministry in the roughest part of town, and she's got my back. I tell you one thing, that guy at the Best Buy won't ever do that again. Whatever he was mean to me. She kind of again, she's like Nina, you know what I mean? That's my co-worker. That's Bishop Tommy Bowman. Are you being smart to him? Are you not? Where's your manager at? There. And she said, ma'am, he has to get in the line. I said, there ain't nobody here. What you're saying doesn't even make no sense. Just stupid. Let me take your picture and put you on Google and give you 1 star for the company because of you. He's like, what? What are you doing? I took your picture. I'm putting you on Google, and I'm going to let your manager know I'm doing this to your face right now. I ain't never seen nothing like that, man. That dude left. They sent him out of the building. Like, get out of here before it gets worse. She's kidding you. She's coming after you, and it's personal. You went after her Bishop Tommy Bowman guy. You went after yeah, and I think she's getting him back. So if she ever loves you, woo, boy, she ain't nobody gonna mess with you.
Ain't lying.
And then there's something about the way she says white women is funny. You know, she's wrong. Well, I found out she's half Mexican, and the other one is mainly Romanian. Not Czechoslovakian, what is it called? It's Christian or Croatian or whatever, and whatever that is, and another one. But yeah, she's some Romanian and Mexican and all those. That's where she gets that tough craziness from.
I heard that.
Yeah, and so she's a trip, man. But this white girl, and that's what she said. I said, what's wrong with Mona? She goes, you don't understand, Tommy. She was mad, I could tell. This elfin, and she said the F word. And then she goes, never mind that freaking white girl thing going on like she was black. She thought like she was black. She's got a problem cutting off traffic, about causing a wreck. I followed her into the grocery store, and she did. She followed her in the grocery store and hunted her down. They were arguing right in the middle of the grocery store. They was kind of fight. Mona said, yeah, what are you going to do, white girl? And the girl looked at her funny like, you're kind of white. What are you talking about? Probably white girl. So she said she had blonde hair. She was cut like she was tough. I said, you trying to run everybody off the road? I'm taking your picture. I'm giving it to the police. I'll make sure you know that to your face. I'm like, God, Rolly, you're crazy. She's got some gonads for a female. That's all I can say. She is a trip. I'd hate for her and Tina to get mad at somebody together. They might not survive. So, Ramona, though, she is a handful. Tina's more of the quiet assassin and says something when she has to immediately. Ramona just tells you what she's going to do and does it. And tries to embarrass you. It's crazy. But yeah, so let you know also, I was letting her go, and I said, look, I got to go. I'm getting off the highway. When she called, I had to call you back, after talking to Steve. And she's like, you got to let me go. And yeah, I got to let you go. I'll talk to you tomorrow. I'll wake you up at 8:30. I'll give you a call. Thank you. All right, click. That's it. I got to be tough on her, man. She's don't appreciate. Anybody that's nice to her, she counts as being soft. She likes rough talk, cutting up stuff.
Yeah.
I gotta tell her, some just crazy stuff. Make up some crazy stuff. I gotta figure it out. I might even look it up on Google which one's the best one to say. Like, man, have you washed your feet, man? Your feet stink. Well, to say so. Say the crazy stuff. Are you wash? Is that your butt, man? Oh, they try to get her, they all play around with a little bit. I was like, yeah, I'm just playing. Yeah, I really don't. I smell something, but I don't think that's you. I'm just gonna mess with her because I think I would keep her off me. I think if I mess with her, to keep her off me. Like if her mind gets bored, if I don't keep her in check, and then after a while she'll leave me alone. So I ain't messing with Tommy, man. He'll get me. So I want her to get like she's got me. I'm reversing that thing. Wow, it went from 84 to 72 after it rained. 12 degrees it dropped on my temperature gauge.
Amazing.
I drove from, I was on 75, it was 80, 84. And now it's 72, right in front of Lucky.
It's pretty nice out.
So I ain't going to swim tonight, man. It might be down to 70 before I get up. 72 degrees is kind of killing you swimming.
Yep.
I mean, but generally I did it last night at 72.
Yes, you got a heated pool. You got a heated pool, just cold when you get out, but it's nice when you're in there.
Yeah, you hear me? It's still heated for the day a little bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's chilly. Last night it was chilly, brother.
Yeah. What do you think the water temperature was?
Probably 78, 80. It was about 8 degrees warmer. I can feel it was a little bit warmer. I'd say 80, 79, 80. So it was okay. But the 72 getting out, I dried off pretty quick, to say the least. Yeah, they're on the ship going to the pool tonight. I like going to the pool, man. I love it. It just relaxes. Takes the right out of me. It's crazy. It's not the cool water, Jim. It lowers the blood pressure 10 points, 20 points. Like stress of the day. It's totally like, you get that ice water. You get to 79 degrees, so it'll lower your temperature, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, everything's good, man.
I go to the springs in Florida.
They
They're,
got cold water, brother.
yeah, between 62 and 67 degrees. So in the middle of summer, it's 67. In the winter, it's 62.
Probably good.
It's really good for you because it's mineral water.
Right.
So it's really good for your skin and your hair.
Recently, they had like 11-foot and 9-foot crocodiles in those mineral waters. The funny thing is, they're not
No,
allowed
they're
to hurt
too
them.
cold. It's too cold. This is northern Florida.
They had to remove, I was watching. They had to remove 2 of them from some really. I don't want to say it was one of those natural springs that was really clear, and it was clearly swimming around in there. And they're like, they normally don't get in here, and it was all up in there, man. They were
Must
like,
have been
man,
in the Everglades.
wherever there's a clear mineral water, and they got in there. It was so clear.
They got them a lot of. They got hundreds of springs down there. They have some warm springs too, though.
Yeah, I think this was a clear total one. They were surprised it was in there. Maybe it was sick and had a temperature or something. felt better.
They don't
And,
do that. They don't have temperature.
Yeah, whatever. They don't. They were trying to figure it out. It made the news. They're like, in so-and-so Springs, where they never have alligators because of the temperature, I guess, of the water. Here's an alligator. It's 11 foot.
Oh, alligator or crocodile?
Alligator.
Okay. Well, alligators aren't as dangerous as crocodiles.
Yeah, you get a crocodile, they are vicious. They are vicious, man. They walk like a dog. They don't rub on their belly. They walk up with their belly off the ground.
Yeah.
They can run. They had one, they had those two fighting, and that crocodile could move better than that alligator. But that alligator got him. He bit his whole mouth and held it for a second. They finally let go. Was snapping, on his mouth. The crocodile said, okay, I give on this one. I'm gone. But the crocodile was beating him at first, so the alligator got a hold of his mouth. He just set his mouth open, and that crocodile swung his mouth around and went right into it. He was like beating him with his tail and beating him with his mouth, but then the alligator grabbed his mouth, it was over with. I give. Oh gosh.
Oops. Crazy.
Yeah, that's the man-eaters. The alligators are bad enough. Oh, what was that? Was that a bird?
No, that was a styrofoam.
Okay, yes. I mean, and every time I run into one, they follow me around, and they love me. They want to sign up, get a roof with me. And so Ramona's like, them black girls like you. I'm like, I told you I got a little something going on. Just because you ain't a part of that don't mean nothing. So I told her, you're just missing the boat. That's all you doing. See, she's a trout. Because she thinks that he's just on target. I tell you, you're way off base. You're a little mental, but that's okay. She just looks at me crazy. Because she's a little mental. I know, I said, we all a little mental. Oh, by the way, I called Jimmy. Brandon's celebration is next Thursday.
Right on, I remember. Yeah.
Well, I got to do that. I wanted to verify. It's been a long week. By the way, I met my first canvasser in the new Cyber truck from Tesla. He was working out of it. It was pretty cool. Also, they got a new addition on the back. You put on a camper. Remember, it don't use that much more gas. You can get the back and sleep and all that stuff.
It's electric.
Yeah, it's really cool. I asked him how much money he spends a month on this driving every day, driving around the countryside, doing appraisals and stuff with the roofs. adjuster meetings, $100 a month for everything. That big old truck. Plugs it in his house. Fully charged every night. 5 days a week. Driving around the countryside.
That's pretty good.
That's really good. For that a truck that heavy, that is great.
How many pounds is it?
It's big, man.
It looks big, but that don't mean it's heavy. It doesn't have a lot of stuff. It's got smaller
Have you seen
motors.
the inside of this thing? Go look at the pictures on the new interior of those things. It's better than the other ones. The cars.
Teslas.
And of course it'll stop a bullet, remember?
What?
Yeah, he's I guess Cavalier or whatever's right out of on the outside.
Uh-huh.
It stops the bullet. He said the glass won't break neither now. He said he's made the safest, the Tesla truck, one of the safest vehicles in the world. Just don't go in the water.
Oh, I know where I'm at.
Where you at?
Greenbrier. I used to do this apartment complex, pest control right there. Used to do that.
Well, this morning, the enemy was whispering bad things and I had to pray and rebuke. I woke up that way. And I had the Bible playing. And I'm like, Lord, rebuke that in Jesus' name. And it went away, and I cast it out. I then done communion and drank holy water and said my prayers like I always do every morning. Everything turned out pretty good. The devil wanted me to speak curses on myself. Like, why, Lord, why is this going on and all that? And I'm like, nah, I'm going to speak because Joel Osteen said you speak victory. You speak things into existence like we know that we can. So I did that. I'm speaking things into existence.
Oh yeah, I asked you earlier, do you know Greg Lockett?
I've heard the name.
Yeah, he's a preacher. You've probably seen him. He's a really good preacher. He has a church in Tennessee, but he just got busted for trafficking. They didn't say what he's trafficking. He got 60 counts, 60 charges on him.
Wow.
But a lot of these churches are trafficking humans because they're all getting paid by the Moonies. You know who that guy is? Sun Young Moon in South Korea. He's a preacher in South Korea. You ever heard of him?
I've heard the name.
You heard of the Moonies? You ever heard of the Moonies?
I heard the name.
Yeah, when we were kids, there used to be these people that would stand on the corners and sell flowers. You remember them?
Yeah.
Those are the Moonies. They were in the Mooney occult.
Okay.
It's a Christian cult.
Gotcha.
And 2 days before, 2 days before Charlie Kirk died, he was hanging with that guy. The guy was telling him, hey, we're going to move you to the next level. Me and Israel.
Okay.
Israel, he got all his money from Israel. So he's a Zionist. And then, Charlie said nah. And so Charlie died. 2 days after that, Sun Young Moon, he got put in jail for trafficking in South Korea.
Wow.
Yeah, that's wild, huh? Yeah. And now, see, all these preachers that got money from him are getting busted. That's who, like Greg Laurie and Greg Locke, those two of them. They both are getting money from the Moonies. What's happening? Yeah. Huh.
You call back. Is that cool?
Yeah.
I'm at the right next to the church. I'll call you back in just a little bit.
Okay, God bless you. Peace. Hello.
God bless you, bud.
Bye.
This is the kind of stuff that, in my opinion, might get you caught up with the feds. And while it's not considered LGBTQ, one of the big narratives that has been pushed around here, absent any proof, Lance is the one that was submerged in the furry culture. Remember, he had a fursona named Luna, which is an avatar for your personality. We should discuss that more, right? Lance's fursona named Luna. It's actually a character spelled Loona. I had received this email about Luna. The person wrote, "Dear Candace, quote, I wanted to share some context about a character named Luna from the animated series Hell of a Boss. Luna is a very popular character among members of the furry fandom. She is an anthropomorphic hellhound who normally has a wolf-like appearance, but she is also able to disguise herself in a human form and switch back to her hellhound form. A significant part of her character revolves around her difficulty connecting with other people. She is often portrayed as guarded, socially awkward, and emotionally withdrawn. She has trouble making friends, tends to isolate herself, and often hides her insecurity behind sarcasm, anger, or an unfriendly attitude. Over the course of the series, some of her storyline explores her relationships with others, her fear of rejection, and her difficulty expressing affection or allowing herself to become emotionally close to people. Because of both her wolf-like design and her personality, Luna has become especially recognizable and popular within the furry fandom and online animation communities. She appears frequently in fan art, cosplay, memes, and other fan-created content." So this was interesting to me because I, a long time ago, very long time ago, back in October, told you that, among other things that I learned about the Robinson family, of course, this whole lie that Matt Robinson believed his son was guilty. Matt Robinson, when he went back to the apartment that Tyler Robinson shared with Lance, discovered that a bed that was not a dog bed was put into his son's room. His suspicion was that the feds had staged that room. Well, if you're telling me that it's Lance that has a fursona that happens to be a hellhound, it would make more sense that this would be Lance's bed. Lance's big dog bed, that Lance was embodying this fursona. And when we looked further into Luna and this hellhound demon dog, that's literally what it is, a demon dog, we learned that the demon dog wears a pentagram as a necklace. And the series premise in and of itself is sort of amazing. This is what it says on Wikipedia. Okay? The series follows the employees of IMP, immediate murder professionals, and online and on Discord to further lean into these avatars, to accept them as a sort of like dissociative character in their life. This can be separate, it can be sexual, it can be whatever. I find the premise of Luna to be compelling. Lance Twiggs, why wasn't Lance Twiggs arrested, actually? Lance Twiggs' alibi, just to remind you, for September 10th is, I was sleeping. anyone prodded that narrative? The feds prodded that narrative? Have they confirmed that he was just, sleeping through the biggest assassination since JFK?
Nobody's
It
done
feels like something you could
anything.
confirm,
It's just
you
a
could check.
story.
Maybe some cameras. Gamma request some cameras to see if he was moving around. See if his phone had activity. It's crazy. Isn't it at least feasible that he wasn't? Plausible that he wasn't? Is it not possible that the note that was handwritten, which Lance claims he found under his keyboard and then took a picture of it, but then burned the note to hide the evidence? I'm sorry, what? You burned the note to hide the evidence after taking a picture of it, which does not hide the evidence? Is it possible that Lance just wrote the note and burned it because we were not going to find Tyler Robinson's fingerprints on that note? Then there's this, okay? Like I said, I've been convinced since the very beginning that those are two separate people that emerge on campus in the stairwell, one wearing a maroon shirt, the other one in a black shirt at a later point. Now, this is by no means a perfect science, but the person in the maroon shirt appears to be left-handed, or at least exceedingly ambidextrous, because when he's walking down the steps, what the influencers were shown in 4K is actually he's on his phone, and he seems to be either completing a message, maybe just marking time, who knows, but he's holding his phone in his left hand before he slips his phone into his left pocket. So I want you to watch that here. In the footage that we saw, it was very blurry, and I'm going to show you that blurry footage, but that is what I am telling you. It is a phone that he is holding and slipping into his pocket. You can play this. Okay? That's a phone. Okay? And then he slips that phone into his pocket. That's what they were shown in 4K. And they didn't mention that. Might be relevant. Maybe they didn't notice. Maybe their brain didn't realize, oh wait, that's a left.
Welcome to Maui. This is 5 minutes from the Kahului Airport in Maui. Very sad. These people are forced to live in their cars. Thank you to our politicians. No housing, no affordable housing. Look at this. This is Maui 2026. I feel bad for all these people. Hi guys. Welcome to Maui. This is 5 minutes from the
My elbow down, I got 2% feeling, and my knee down, 1% feeling. So like,
Wow.
that's nothing. So like when I'm getting my arms and my hands tattooed, it's like I don't feel it. The arms, I can feel it. The best way I can explain getting a tattoo, like the way it feels is like if you get a sunburn and like, you know, when you get a sunburn, you get itching, you scratch, you like, whoa, like you feel that little tingly sensation.
Yeah.
That's what getting a tattoo feels like to me. When they do the outlines, that's when that little sensation. But when they start doing the fading, the shading, and all that, there's nothing at that point. You're already home. And then when they do the alcohol swap,
Handed. Now, I don't know people who are right-handed who text or deal with their left hand or use their left pocket at all. These are things that you don't think about because it's like second nature to you. Now, Tyler Robinson is definitively not left-handed. It is actually spelled out in his legal filings, but if you conduct your own investigation into all of the many social media photos that are posted by his mother onto Facebook From the time he was a kid all through his young adulthood, he's right-handed. To the contrary and of interest, we thought, let's just check and see about Lance. And it's the exact opposite. Across various public photos of Lance, he appears to be left-handed, or at least without question, ambidextrous. We can go through some of the strong evidence of that. This is Lance on a snowboard. Now, sometimes people do it on the opposite leg, but we can show you this clip. You will see that when he falls, he even falls onto his left hand. Okay? When you're catching yourself, you're going to go dominant on the right side. Recently, you know, he was photographed down in Texas pumping gas. He is pumping with his left hand. There's also selfie photos of him on the internet. He is taking these selfies with his left hand. And most compelling is this video of Lance as a child playing the piano. Now, you're going to note before we hit play on this video that his watch is affixed to his right hand. Now, the proper way that you wear a watch is to fix the watch to the opposite of your dominant hand. The reason for that is because you use it less, so you're trying to keep it so you're not scraping and writing, and so that's why I always wear my watch on my left hand. He has his watch on his right hand, but you're also going to he's going to turn the page with his left hand. Take a look at this.
My name is Lance Twins. I am playing country concerts for young pianists. And I like piano because it gives me something other than playing video games to do with my fingers.
Left. To get started, that's left hand dominance, perhaps ambidextrous. I find that to be very interesting. That little phone pocket thing, which the feds wanted to blur so the public couldn't see that, it's his phone. He's on his phone and he puts it into his left pocket. And isn't it just interesting that the feds instantly felt that when they met with Lance, it wasn't no, he's not an accomplice. There's no way. It didn't even cross their minds. In fact, what they decided to do after they questioned,
Snap a photo, list your item. Easy. Once it sells, the buyer covers shipping.
and was then dropped off by police at his parents' residence. The feds then moved him and his father into a safe house. The feds paid for them to live somewhere unknown to the general public. All of that just strikes me as remarkably odd. It's just, this person would have access to everything that was Tyler Robinson's. I'd love to know exactly how his hair was styled when all this went down. Now, just some things that you should know that I'm happy to share with you as we start moving in on this and considering this plausibility is that Lance moved in to that apartment, which is owned by his family, in July of 2022. He initially found two roommates that were brothers. Their names were...
Is food really as expensive in the Arctic Circle as people say it is? Let's go find out. 2 liters of chalky milk was just shy of $15, and the liter jugs were about $9. The various Cracker Barrel bags of shredded cheese were all $15 each. 4 previously frozen chicken breasts will set you back $42. In case you ever wondered why there's so few fat people up north, it's because the cookies are $13 each. 10-pack of iced tea juice boxes will set you back $12.29. Apple juice is even more outrageous at $24 for a 4 liter. Cranberry juice is not much better at $14 for a 2. Honestly, the craziest thing out of all of it is a 24-pack of no-name bottled water was $32. But doing their part to combat obesity again, we got $9.49 for a 2 liter of Coke. Moving on to produce, we got $9.49 for a bag of onions, a bag of celery stalks for $11.50. You gotta take out a second mortgage on your house and sell your firstborn for a bag of jalapenos because they're...
Caleb and Bradley. One of them was in the military. That's Bradley. Caleb left a year later.
Every morning after one of us tapes Steve's eyes open, the girls like to decorate them. So today we're headed to the golf tournament. So they're gonna do a golf theme.
Yeah, I'm just gonna I'm gonna make you your lips.
There's the inspo.
I got leg warmers too. Hi.
From Amazon, Hanji. One grass foundation on the eyebrows. Different color grass. There's gray. There's Gray's eyebrow. There's Gray's eyebrow. Alright, so we added a flag. Net, show me the golf swing. Matt's been practicing. Yep, that's the one. What do you think, Greg?
Into the hole.
Right.
Oh, that's so nice.
Rainbow.
Oh, across the top, a rainbow.
See the best.
Big suction break. Lots of fingers going on. Alright, final touches.
And then guys, get out
Oh,
that.
wait, no. Are we? No? Okay, great. Explain yours.
Okay. Rainbow golf club.
Alright, go to film. We're headed to the tournament. Every morning after one of us tapes Steve's eyes open, the girls like.
And in 2023, Tyler Robinson took Caleb's place. So in August of 2023, Tyler Robinson begins living there. So it was just Bradley, the military guy, Lance, and Tyler Robinson living as roommates. And
Well, not one share.
till November of 2000. So at the end of 2024, Bradley, the military guy, moved out, citing a military obligation.
Look, go to Isaiah 53, go to Psalms 22, go read, matter of fact, read all of Isaiah. You know, read Micah, go study your own book. We're already telling them to do that, right? But then when Christ comes, when Christ comes, the door's shut already. The door's shut. And then they start saying, Lord, Lord. Well, we know they're going to recognize him when he comes.
where to go is this
قال لي صافي انت القحبة ديالي. قلت له صافي انا القحيبة ديالك.
where to go
قال لي صافي انت القحبة ديالي. قلت له صافي انا القحيبة ديالك. انا مشيت معاه للدار. قال لي صافي انت القحبة ديالي. قلت له صافي انا القحيبة ديالك. انا مشيت.
Just left just Tyler
Thank you,
and
Mrs. Device.
Lance
Thank you, one
living in
second.
that apartment
Okay.
alone at the beginning of 2025. Those are just more facts that I would like to
معاه للدار. قال لي صافي
where to
Sorry for the wait. Go ahead.
It's all right. I got a Uber for Jason L.
I'm sorry.
I have a Uber Eats for Jason
You can
L.
come to the window.
Thanks.
All right, you guys, do you feel like you're working harder than ever but still falling behind every month between grocery prices, bills, and credit cards? You feel impossible to get ahead? Minimum payments aren't designed to get you out of debt. They're designed to actually keep you stuck. But PDS Debts can help. They can reduce up to half of what you owe on credit cards, personal loans, and medical bills, and it starts with a free 30-second assessment at PDS.
From the US and Canada. So like I said, 2 different programs to go over, okay? SWC teaches you 26 different income streams. Made from Zero teaches you 11 different income streams. It's all how you want to scale it. I started with SWC because I wanted to be able to replace my healthcare position, okay? So I wanted to get the best of the best to be able to get out of health. I got Made from Zero because it's a very beginner-friendly classroom. You have coaches and mentors for every single income stream that you are earning, okay? So inside New York, you need
Princess, the beautiful. I promise I'm yours. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes.
Well, you only. What's the name, baby?
Jason L.
Jason L.
Yeah.
Can you let him know somebody picked up his food? We don't have it.
I did. Okay, thanks.
If you're carrying any balance on your credit card, it's costing you money every single day. There's no minimum score that's required. PDS Debt is
Yeah, definitely it's gone?
Yes, definitely
Okay,
gone.
thanks. God bless you.
Sorry for the wait. I'm sorry.
No problem.
So get your free 30-second
Thank you, Mrs.
personalized
Brayton. Are you
assessment
ordering
today
or
at pdsdebts.com/Candace. Again, that's pdsdebts.com/Candace. I have to tell you guys about Mimi Skincare. You know I love them. They make the best tallow skincare products I've ever used. Their tallow comes from grass-fed, grass-finished cattle raised on a Montana farm in a world where so many companies hide where their ingredients are coming from. That really matters. Everyone seems to be talking about tallow these days, but not all tallow is created equally. Mimi has focused on sourcing exceptional ingredients and creating products that people genuinely love to use. That's why I've been using Mimi's Sunshine Tallow Cream and their Buzzin' Tallow Balm. The Sunshine Tallow Cream has become one of Mimi's most popular products. It's rich, nourishing, and made with tallow, aloe
Alright, what's up? We are doing the thing. That's what we're doing.
Reject the evidence of your own
Okay, I got the whole story. So Olaf Wells killed Charlie Kirk, and that's why that Bart got unalive Noah Wells, because he was a true killer. Yeah. Okay, I got the whole story. So Noah Wells killed Charlie Kirk, and that's why that Bart got
eyes and ears. Sabari's final and most crucial instruction is playing out right now on X in the most bizarre way. I cannot with these Zionists. It's unbelievable how far they take these things. Obviously, gas prices and grocery prices are, I mean, if you just gone outside, have been around, this is not something that you can deny, and you certainly are not going to be able to present charts and tell people, no, you're living amazing. Everybody is suffering at the pump. Everybody is suffering when they head to the grocery store. Meat is more expensive. I don't even know why you would try to claim otherwise, outside of just thinking people are really stupid and you can embark on an influence campaign to make people not believe the evidence of their own eyes and ears, right? So Matt Walsh tweets something that is obviously true. He tweets this. He tweets, grocery prices are insane. They're still rising. Addressing this problem should be the #1 priority of every elected leader. End the stupid foreign wars and focus on this issue. It's one of the main reasons socialists are gaining power. Back. Okay, like duh. And we recognize that. We have just unlimited money when it comes to going to war, unlimited money when it comes to Ukraine, billions to Israel. We can just go, whoa, let's go to the war restraints. And then when you wonder if we're going to get any tax refund, no, we don't have anybody. Look at our prices around here. Nothing is getting better, and people are rightfully upset about that. So obviously the issue is that he mentioned the foreign wars, and the neocons instantly had to get to work and explain this is not true. And actually their argument is that people just need to focus on making home-cooked meals. They need to stop eating out and recognize that you're just spoiled. If you are a person who thinks that things are not affordable, it's because you're spoiled. We need our wars, but you're spoiled. Joel Berry, who I don't even know what this guy did or ever did for the Babylon Bee, he writes this. He writes, last night my wife made homemade burritos for our family of 8, and it cost less than $20 total for everyone. I'm beginning to think the affordability crisis is really an I don't know how to cook crisis. Like, I don't believe anything he's saying there. I cook, and I am amazed at how much like chicken is costing at the grocery store. I'm making rice. I'm not like, getting out there and buying something that's super duper expensive. Yes, I do. I will say on the beef, I always support at the farmer's market, which is, I'm obviously paying more because I want to support farmers. But I've noticed that things have gotten incrementally more expensive, and I should be able to support farmers. I should be able to do that, go to the farmer's market and buy that meat without feeling, because they claim, the issue is that you can't cook. You can cook. You guys cannot be this out of touch with how people. So Matt responds to Joel, and he says, one of the problems with this claim is that virtually no Republican was making, quote, the affordability crisis is fake arguments during the Biden years. It's extremely transparent to everyone that the unwillingness to acknowledge these obvious economic challenges is at least partially politically motivated. Yes, they want war, blood. He's right. He continues, the second problem is that no matter how thrifty your family might be and no matter how cheap your homemade burritos, the significant rise in grocery prices over the past 6 years and the fact that the rise is continuing, not stopping, and certainly not reversing is just a mathematical reality. It can't be denied, it is a fact. grocery prices have gone up 30% or more this decade. I'm happy for you if your family is not significantly impacted by this problem, but it is real and it is a problem, and conservatives better come up with an answer that isn't just, quote, learn how to make cheap burritos or you're going to get absolutely crushed. That's not the reality. Yeah, I don't know how people outside of, again, just their general Zionist bloodthirst and needing to make it seem like it's not because they're constantly taking money and they're not parasites on our economy, how you could argue that. Like, go speak to people. Obviously, groceries have gotten incredibly expensive, and they are continuing to get expensive. So whatever Trump promised has not been delivered. That's speaking plainly. What's really funny about this is that obviously leads to the fact that it just shows that you're a complete fraud because you weren't making these arguments, or you were at least acknowledging the affordability crisis when Biden and Kamala were in office. Sure enough, Joel himself, Joel Berry, complained about the grocery store prices when Kamala Harris was in office in 2024. You should never, ever lose sight of how fraudulent Zionists are. They just want war, okay? Here is what he actually tweeted in 2024. Kamala Harris tweets, "The campaign is about two different visions for our nation. Ours is focused on the future. Donald Trump is focused on the past. We are not going back." Joe Barry replied and said, "I'd like to go back to when there were no wars, and I afford groceries, please." Yeah, you're just like a partisan hack, Joel. You're a partisan hack. Now all of a sudden it's problematic when Matt Walsh says the same thing and keeps the same energy no matter who's in office, which is authentic. You're just gonna go, nope, sorry, we really just want that or straight, and we gotta kill some Iranians, so you need to learn to cook a burrito or something. And then I don't even know, he's just got blast from the past. Dan Crenshaw, who was gratefully out of office in Texas. No one has let down public faster than Dan Crenshaw. He then leans in with this, like, I can't even, the neocons that have taken over the Republican Party, it's just shocking for them to just try this on. He wrote this, "Just hearing about this dumb $20 burrito debate, so just thought I'd make the losers on social media angry before going to bed. Stop whining, get a job, eat ramen like the rest of us did in college on a budget with 4 roommates. The market doesn't care what you think. Something should cost. Only communists care. They set the prices, remember? Then everyone starves, remember? Are you a communist? Or are you an American adult male capable of handling his own SHIT? Ooh, he's here. Actually, I was one of those people that was in college who was flat broke and eating ramen. Even that has gotten more expensive. Everything is more expensive. The idea that people are eating out because somehow it's a luxury. No, actually, when I was working 2 jobs, didn't have time to make meals out, I would then go down to McDonald's and hit up the dollar menu. You can't do that anymore. You can't get something for $1. The tab should be 6 cents. Like, it's so in my head. $1.06 is just gonna get a double cheeseburger at McDonald's. So it wasn't really like a luxury item. It was just something quick to eat. They can't even do that anymore with fast food, and you're treating them like they're spoiled rotten because you need to have more. That's the reality. And of course, never one to be left behind. We know Beavis and Butthead, Blake Neff came back with a chart, because that's how they're going to convince you guys. We have this chart that shows you that your groceries aren't expensive. I don't care if you're saying that you're living reality or what your eyes and your ears and what your debit card is telling you. Blake Neff has a chart.
September the 12th. September the 12th. Oh, excuse me, I want to take you back to September 11th. Charlie Kirk passed away on September 10th. On September 11th, we all woke up and there was no suspect in custody. So the FBI starts releasing little bits of information. The FBI starts trickling stuff out. Videos, pictures, descriptions. One of the things they released was a video. I want to show you this video. We've seen it 1,000 times, but this is one of the videos that the FBI released that day. Just to orient you, this is the Losey Center up here. We have 4 rows of cars. We have a guy that when we pick up is basically in full flight already from his, what they promised us was a prone position. And he is running across the rooftop. He's now running behind this little building up here. He's running off to this corner. And we noticed at the time, and we still talked about it when they showed this at the preliminary hearings, there's not a lot you can tell.
Can't wait no longer. What I'm gonna do.
He's white or black. Can't tell if he's Hispanic or Chinese.
person in your life? It might sound weird, but really, I used to be high a lot, and I probably should, but because it's able to.
And data. Ask a certain question. I said, what?
You can't tell if he's Hispanic or Chinese. You can't tell what color his jeans are. You can't tell what color his shoes are. You can't tell what he's holding in his hand. Whatever he's holding in his hand is flopping around a whole lot, not like a gun. We'll get to that in a minute. And then they show him running off towards the street. So that's just to reorient you on what we knew before the preliminary hearing. Well, the preliminary hearing comes and goes, and we're expecting a really good image. We didn't get it. We didn't get it. We actually got worse quality image than what we just saw right there. Now we got more of it. In other words, we got a little bit more before it happened, even though there was like 5 minutes cut or a minute cut out of getting in 5.
We promise a tenfold refund if it doesn't work. Traditional dutures can cause jawbone loss and change your facial contour over time. But this duture
spend less of their income on food than any other country on the planet. Of course, this was he shared a World Economic Forum charge, just gone full globalist there, because the globalists are basically trying to tell us to eat bugs and die. And so naturally he shared this totally irrelevant chart, and he got hit with a community note saying that the linked article uses pre-2016 data showing the U.S. the lowest food expenditure shares. Actually reinforced Matt's point about how much things have shifted over the last decade. Again, I just don't know how they think this is going to be a winning message going into midterms. I have a feeling that Matt Walsh is going to be proven correct. What are they focused on? Oh, more Iranian propaganda, I suppose. And so it is deeply ironic that this is all happening on the same day, or this has actually been trending on Twitter for 2 days, but on the same today, Daily Wire released a trailer. I am being so serious when I say I do not know if this is supposed to be funny, like if it's supposed to be like tongue-in-cheek, or if this is serious, like a serious movie and propaganda. I don't know if it's supposed to laugh here or if it's real. And so let me preface this with, they're probably gonna hit me for showing their trailer, even though they've shown my trailer. When I did the Erica series, they showed the trailer and commented on it, but they're going to be petty. They'll probably sue me for showing the trailer in the real spirit of the Daily Wire. But this is the tweet that accompanied it. Ben tweeted, "The threat of radical Islam is real. Hollywood has refused to tell that story for 3 decades. What? It's like, were you dead for the last 3 decades? What are you talking about? The #1 show on HBO was Homeland. Like, I don't even know, like, what are we telling? What does he mean? They refuse to tell the story. I feel like all we've gotten hit with since 9/11 has been propaganda against Muslims. They refuse to tell their decades. Okay, he continues. Now we're saying the thing with the biggest, most audacious, funniest, and most kick-ass film the Daily Wire has ever released. Here is the trailer. Again, I can't tell if this is meant to be a parody of life. Take a listen.
що любимо і служимо Аллаху, дали відсіч американцям і сіоністам від лиха світськості та земель невір'я.
Хтось збирається слухати капітана Сондерса завтра. Поїдьте.
Oh, I'm sorry. They have to switch that and pull that again. Can you pull that? Can you play it straight from his X feed? Let's just do that. Sorry, I just realized that was for some reason downloaded and it sounded like Spanish or something like that. But we haven't seen this trailer. Just let me know when that's pulled up, because I was very confused by it. Here we go.
Against the Americans and the Zionists, the scourge of secularism and the lands of unbelief.
growing up and the propaganda just isn't slapping the same. Like if we saw this in like 2001, we'd be like, oh my gosh, yes, no, it's crazy. Like, do they know we know, look, about the CIA and Israel funding Al-Qaeda, funding al-Nusra, the Mossad Bado, you know, that they're going to conquer the world through deception. Do they know that we know that Israel's behind all of this radical, I don't know, it's a little too on the nose. It's a little too on the nose. They are going to conquer you through the wombs of their women. Like, who's writing this stuff? It's just, leave it as it is. It's a promo for the trailer. Reminder, just as they are chomping at the bit for War with Iran and telling you, you know what you should do? You should learn to cook a burrito and go also see this film and understand that the reason why you have to make those sacrifices is because if you don't, you're going to have to, you can't run, you can't hide, you're going to have to fight radical Islam. So your options are, you gotta eat burritos at home, learn to cook, and recognize that the threat here is Islam. It's not Zionism. It's very clear by that trailer. Anyway, I just wanted to also show you guys this clip, which I think is fantastic. Rabbi Shmuley, who is just one of the grossest representatives of what the Zionist lobby is, constantly harassing people, threatening lawsuits. For some reason, he's in Iceland, and that's not subtle, by the way, at all. He's like, I wouldn't suspect he's up there vacationing. It's just like a parasite in Iceland. Look out for that. If anything happens in Iceland, like, just know Rabbi Shmuley was here. But he came across this couple that was on the streets, and they basically said F Israel, and he tried to do his usual victim bit, and he said, they told him to his face, like, the guy here just had big Viking energy, and told him to get out of his country. I love this. More of this when it comes to genocidal murderers. They should get out of your country. It's a good sign when you see a parasite in your country. And here is the video that Rabbi Shmuley posted in like the greatest cell phone. Take a look at this.
So 1 second, hold on. You just made me hang up on my attorney. I told you to take a phone. I told you I didn't want to interrupt, and you said you just wanted to send Rabbi Shmuley. You said that you were a big fan. You lied to your teeth and you then you said Israel. Why would you do that? I'm an American. I'm a visitor here. Now you're pretending you don't speak English? Listen, this is going to go out to the whole world. I was sitting on a call with my attorney. Very important call. I could not have been more pleasant to you or your girlfriend. Both of you walked up together and you said, are you Rabbi Shmuley Mendy? I said, yes. Then you said, I'm a big fan. Can I do a video? I said, I'm on a call. I begged you to wait. Just for you to tell me to f*** you. Do you hate Jews that much? Do you hate Jews that much? And then, I'm sorry. You know what happened?
All right, guys. Welcome, guys. All right, guys. Yeah. You want me to tell the world? You want me to tell the world? Genocide going on. I will. History will not favor the genocide that you are behind.
Yeah, he's right. Like, have some courage. Like, what is this? And why is he trying to make it seem like this is like a conversation about Jews? No, he's talking about Israel. We are recognizing that you committed a genocide in broad daylight. We are recognizing that you are simultaneously trying to spread that cancer across Spain and punish them for having the courage to say that you can't commit a genocide in broad daylight. Now you're trying to threaten him and like, oh, you can't say that to me because like I'm Jewish, or no. He's saying that you're not allowed to mass murder women and children and innocent people and play Hunger Games with their lives as the Gaza Humanitarian Fund did, and expect that people are going to see you in their countries and applaud you. So yeah, I'm glad to see this big Viking energy. And again, I don't suspect he was there talking to his lawyer on the phone on vacation. I think this person is right to acknowledge that he's here and know what the history of Rabbi Shmuley is and the activities that he has been involved in. It's no good. I don't know how any person outside of somebody who worships Satan could support what Israel is doing around the world, but you know, that's my opinion. Anyway, we'll be right back. grass-fed and grass-finished beef, sourced from American family farms. But let's be honest, the reason that we keep buying them is because of the flavor. The original is classic, but the jalapeno is my favorite because it has just the right amount of kick. And the teriyaki has the perfect amount of sweetness. They're savory, satisfying, and actually taste like real food. I always keep a few of them in my car, even in my carry-on, because someone in my family is always hungry and looking for a snack.
Well, that's good. Rabbi Shmuley. Hey guys. He owns porn stores. He's a rabbi. How do you own a porn store and be a rabbi? I'm sorry, that just cracks me up. That cracks me up.
writes the fact that, quote, how did you cut a cat's head off at 3 is a legitimate follow-up question to Erica's pastor in 2026.
Erica's
is somehow
pastor.
still less weird in the fact that Erica's inner circle includes a man who has to explain toddler cat beheading logistics on national television. Exactly. So well said. There's just so much weirdness that follows her. And again, they just keep kind of using this cloak of faith to go, well, you can't question it because every sentence she says the Lord. She can't get a sentence out without saying the Lord. So that must mean that she's holy. I reject that notion. Today's episode, 7 Sheets writes, every tax from Americans should go directly to Americans. It's not complicated. If they want war, then ask their bosses. Us. Enough. Our vets, our citizens, our children. God bless. Could not agree more. So well said. Your girl Corinne writes, I know you're busy, but I'd love to know your thoughts on the Lindsay Clancy case in Massachusetts. I made my thoughts clear on this the moment that she was arrested, the moment that it made the news. Lindsay Clancy is obviously not guilty. There are a fleet of doctors who should be imprisoned for what they put her on. I regularly speak out against Big Pharma. They get away with murder all the time, and in this case, they are getting away with the murder of really her 3 children, but also completely destroyed her life. But Lindsay Clancy, in my opinion, is not guilty. She was put into an intentional psychosis when she probably just needed to give kids away for a weekend